like, man, we really did a lot of shit, you know. I mean,
yeah.
And he commented to me, he's like, man, I really didn't realize, like, the things that you did, like, to get to Woodstock. You actually, how you left that.
I never knew that.
Was,
left him a note under his. He goes. He slides a note under their door at their hotel. It says, "I gotta go play with Cypress Hill at Woodstock, but I will be back for our show." This is some crazy shit, man. They took a helicopter to Woodstock.
That's yeah, you know, and thing like about that a lot, you know, and I think like for me, you know, a lot of people didn't realize how I got into the whole fold, and I think that was kind of cleared up, you know, in a way, and you know why I'm a part of the whole collective as well, you know, and you know, like when Sendog had left the group, and how we had to keep on soldiering on, and you know, I mean, it was very informative, and I think that the people really enjoyed like how it was done, how it was made, you know, how everything went chronologically. It wasn't like it was all over the place, you know what I mean? Everything went, you know, in a great timeline. So it's been great, man. It's been really, really great. I'm glad that, you know, it's out and people are digging it.
Did the Beastie Boys have any like animosity towards you at all for that?
You know, it was a trip. I don't think so. I don't think so. But when that happened, and they never really had that happen to them. You know what I mean? It's like we were in the middle of Lollapalooza '94, you know, and originally, you know, we was going to be on a different day. And then they switched it to that Saturday, and I didn't have that day off. And I was really like, man, what do I do? You know, people were telling me go. There were people that tell me don't go. Don't do this. You can't leave the group like that. You know, you have a commitment here and everything like that. And to be honest, it was like my mom that said, yo, man, you better go ahead and do Woodstock. I mean, that's like this thing again. I mean, it took moms to really like cement the deal for me, because I was really like, you know, yeah, you're right. You know, I mean, Beastie Boys are an iconic group. You know, you don't just leave them, you know, to go ahead and do a gig with, you know, any group, you know what I mean? And, you know, I knew that once I knew I wasn't going to make it back for the show, I said, oh shit, I'm going to be in trouble, yo. And I remember I flew into Miami, and that's where the next show was. So I flew in, I said, okay, I didn't see anybody. I just went right into my room. And like within 5 minutes of me getting in there, tour manager, he was used to be tour manager for Ozzy Osbourne, so he's some older English cat. Says, Bobo, need to meet you on the bus right now. We need to have a conversation. You shouldn't have gone. And when, you know, so I go down there and he lays the spiel on me. That was not right of you, Bobo, to leave. You shouldn't have left us. You really left us in a terrible spot. I don't know what's going to happen. If it was up to me, if it was up to him, he would have fired me right there on the spot. And I was thinking, well, in my head, well, if I get fired, I know I got another gig.
Woodstock, right? I'm going to Woodstock.
That's good.
Woodstock is when they, you know, they really like formally introduced me as a new addition, you know. Yeah. So then after that, and then I talked to the boys, you know. He says, okay, the boys are going to want to speak to you right now. And I'm like, oh, shit. So it's like all three of them and me in the bus. So I was like, okay, you know. And they basically, they understood, you know, it was Woodstock. It was a big opportunity and everything like that. He said, you know, just, you know, let us know that you're going to know, because the way I did it, like I said, I slid a note under Mike D's door, you know, and this was like at 3-something in the morning, and I knew it was going to be sleep. I said, yo, Mike, I'm left to go to Woodstock, but I'm going to make it back for the show. I will be back, you know, and that didn't happen. And like 3 people had to be doing my parts for the next show, you know. Ooh, and they're looking, you know, they're looking at some of the broadcasts, because it was like all over. It was like the first Woodstock after the original one, so MTV was all over it, and people was like saying, "Yo, Bobo, that's Bobo over there," you know. I mean, and there was some security and some people that did Lollapalooza that was at Woodstock. So, you know, it was a trip, and then I didn't make it. And, you know, when we did that gig, they said, all right, you know, no problem. I said, okay, they're not going to fire me. The crazy thing, though, is Cypress was going to do the Reading Festival in the UK, and their manager, John Silva, big manager, you know, of Nirvana, you know, the Beasties and whatnot. He comes up to me personally and says, Bobo, because Cypress was figuring out a way how to get me to go to Reading. I mean, even like go on the Concorde, we're going to fly you, we'll get you on the Concorde to fucking all that shit. And he says, Bobo, you're not really planning on leaving and going to Reading, are you, with Cypress Hill, are you? And I says, no, John, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stay right here. I'll be here. And I missed that show. But I think the boys, they, you know, the Cypress, they understood, you know. But I couldn't do that twice, because I knew that before I would be fired. So everything was great. Everything was great. And what really led to everything was, you know, Beastie was about to go out on the Hello Nasty tour. And Cypress was doing Smoking Grooves. A week before Beasties hit me up, I got the schedule for Smoking Grooves. So I committed to it. A week later, Ad Rock hits me up and says, all right, we're about to start off this tour, you know, for the Hello Nasty album. And then I says, I just committed to the month with Cypress for Smoking Grooves tour. And I think at that moment they knew that they had to get somebody else, because you got to think about it. For 3 years, I was flip-flopping between both groups, and the schedules did not mix. You know, I mean, they didn't interfere with each other. So at that time that it did, so they knew that they had to get somebody, because now they saw like, wow, you know, he's going to be doing stuff with Cypress. But I look at it this way. They made me an offer that I couldn't refuse.
No question. It's your Godfather shit, huh?
You know, they did. And I had to look at it like, yo, man, what's going to be better for my career? What's going to be better for me? You know, the guys that let me into the group and just like, you know, made me, you know, a member, as opposed to Beastie's, it was always going to be them three. I was always going to be the guy on the side, you know what I mean? Which is cool, you know, and we do all this stuff and everything, but, you know, I had to make that power move decision. And looking at it in hindsight, I made the right decision.
No question. You're still here, so and we're grateful for that.